Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dormouse House. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the books that I read in January. I'm kind of late. I know this is a popular what I read this month thing, but we're only 5 days into February, so I'm sorry to keep my public waiting, but homie can't be filming every single day because she got a job. So without further ado, let's talk about the books that I read in January. So I read a total of 3 books this month, which doesn't sound very lofty, but that's doing pretty good for me right now, considering I do most of my reading in bed at night, because like I said, during my waking hours I'm usually at work. But I do also try to take a book with me to work to read on my break, which is it's always a different book from what I'm reading in bed. This month I read a piece of magical realism, a memoir, so to speak, and a children's book. The first one is the magical realism. This is The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Lesley Walton. And I mentioned this book in my What I Got for Christmas video featuring the box of books, and this I think was the first one I mentioned. And I really like this book. It's about a family, really, through the generations, but the heroine of the story is none other than Ava Lavender herself, and she is an average, everyday, normal girl in every respect except for the fact that she was born with a set of wings. Like I said, she is the narrator, and in the beginning she tells her readers that what we're reading is actually research that she's done on her family. It's like the history, the memoirs of her family. I'm not sure what it adds to the story by making her a family researcher, because it really has nothing to do with the story. And it kind of doesn't make 100% sense to me, because she lives with her mother, who could tell her all the family stories she wants. She also lives with her grandmother, who knows the stories. She knows the secrets. It's also said that the ending is ambiguous. Like in the reader's guide in the back, the ending is supposedly ambiguous. To me, it's not ambiguous at all. It's pretty clear, but I'm not going to say too much because, spoilers. But other than the fact that the family research aspect didn't really make much sense to me, I do still highly recommend this book if you're into magical realism. And by magical realism, I mean like sprinklings of everyday magic throughout an otherwise realistic book. That's what I mean by magical realism. So yes, go out and read the book. I don't think you'll regret it. This is the second book I read in January, Mouse by Art Spiegelman. This is the first graphic novel I have ever read in my life. Graphic novels do not really interest me. They don't hold my attention really, because for the most part they're about superheroes, and that's not what I'm about. This, on the other hand, was an absolutely amazing story. The author, Art Spiegelman, plays himself in the book. He's the narrator, although he really has nothing to do with the story. What it is he is listening to his father tell him stories of his experiences in the Holocaust. And, obviously it's based on a true story. I don't think you have to be a genius to figure out that they're not actually mice. It's a metaphor. If you find the Holocaust a point of interest in history like I do, then I would absolutely recommend reading this. It's very raw. It's very, very realistic because it's based on a true story. This is a page turner. An absolute page turner. It was incredibly good. And there is a sequel, Mouse 2, which I have not been able to find in bookstores, so I did go ahead and order it on Amazon, so I'll be reading that soon. I love the character of Vladek. He's Artie's father, the actual main character. It's like I love the voice that he has in this book. I can hear him speaking. I mean, he still speaks in the book. I mean, just read it. And the third book I read this month was The Tale of Despero, which I also mentioned in my Christmas box of books, what I got for Christmas, whatever you want to call it video. This is the book that I took with me to read at work. And I loved this book. It was so good and so cute and just adorable while telling still, you know, a really good story. Kate DiCamillo, whatever it is. I need to look that up. She's such a masterful storyteller. I mean, this story is about a little mouse named Despero. It is about a rat named Roscuro, and it is about a little waif named Miggery Sow. And the thing, here's the scoop on the story. Despero falls madly in love with a human princess named Princess Pea. That's P-E-A, like a garden pea. Then Roscuro, the rat, he lives in the dungeon, a world of darkness, but he longs desperately for a world of light. And then Miggery Sow, the poor little waif who was abandoned by her father, desperately wants to be a princess. One thing I really like about the way the author narrates this book is that she talks to her audience. She's constantly saying, "Reader, do you know what such and 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 such?" Yeah, I mean, you know, kind of like she talks to the audience. She calls us reader. Basically, little Despero winds up on a quest to save his beloved princess. Miggery Sow winds up on a quest to become the princess. And Roscuro is just a jerk. He obviously has a quest too, but he's still a jerk. And I would definitely recommend this book for children's, teenagers, adults, even though it's clearly aimed towards children. I think we can all enjoy it broadly across the reader spectrum. So guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, I only read 3 books this month, which for me is pretty good. So if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Leave me a comment. Give me one of these. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye. He's the well, you're the one that stuck your tuchus in the lens.